hear me? Wake up, Chrissy! Chrissy, wake up! I don't like this! Chrissy, wake up!
Beaming to your device indirectly from the Upside Down, located somewhere on the other side of Hawkins, California, it's the Hollywood Horror Nerds, your number one source for news, speculation, and discussion exclusively for Universal Studio Hollywood's Halloween Horror Nights. And to your host, Undead Ed, and the latest escapee from the Hawkins National Laboratory, Aleven. Welcome, everyone.
Welcome. It's good to meet you, Aleven. I think you look a little cold in your medical gown and your shaved head, but I'm glad that you're here to talk about all things Hollywood Halloween Horror Nights.
Yes, it's a little cold, but you know what? I do it for the love of the game. I know you said I didn't have to wear it, but I felt like I had to wear it.
It really sets the mood, that and all the Eggo waffles you've been snarfing down.
Yeah, about that. I don't recommend for every meal.
We're not
every day.
If Eggo was sponsoring our podcast, I would recommend it for 3 meals a day and dessert. And brush your teeth with the Eggo syrup.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What a healthy meal.
We are not sponsored by Eggo. One day. It's coming.
One day.
We also are not sponsored by Universal Studios Hollywood. And what is up with that? Because we are basically just a long-form advertisement for them.
Yeah, at this point, they should really up their game and start spilling that moolah.
But what we do have is journalistic integrity. Like when they make a really terrible maze, we complain about it ceaselessly in every episode for 2 years. Which at this time, you are now welcome to complain about Eternal Bloodlines.
Oh, sweet Jesus, thank God. Let me tell you the ways right. Eternal Bloodlines has hurt me personally.
We are back. We have a few new things to talk about. So when we left you, we had just done our FanFest and Horror Nights, our first speculation, looking forward into 2026. Now it is 2026. It is day 2 of 2026. We're happy to be here. I think it's going to be an exciting year for me. I think it's going to be an exciting year for Halloween Horror Nights. And we're going to tell you why, because we have our first real kind of community speculation starting to coalesce. So the first speculation we gave you in our November episode, we warned you at the time it was really just kind of out there in the ether. We didn't really, it was just kind of apropos of nothing but vague ideas of what movies are coming out and what have they done before. Now we feel more secure. I feel like this lineup we're going to present you today, it's coming from the Horror Night Nightmares Christmas map, and there's also a Grinch Christmas map that kind of backs some of it up. These are just different Horror Nights kind of community groups that collect all speculations, and they have some inside information that gets leaked out to them, and then they provide clues to the community in the form of a map. And this one is Christmas themed. It's actually kind of new. They've only done it, I think, 2 years now. They put it out on Christmas or right before Christmas. And all the pictures they're all pictures, and all the pictures are vaguely Christmassy. And from that, people then kind of backwards engineer what the houses are going to be. And we have one of these, and there's just been a lot more speculation out there. Again, not too much in terms of leaks, it feels like, but it feels pretty real at this point. So we're going to say we're kind of at a point now, if you want total surprise when the ads start coming out, then I think it's time for you to go off social media, because I think it's going to start to leak out.
This definitely is a nice time that they released it at Christmas time, just as an extra little, here you guys go. Enjoy.
Extra little Christmas magic, a little Christmas present.
Little Grinchy magic.
Krampus Claus for us. Now, strangely, we are only really going to talk about Horror Nights today. We're not talking about FanFest, even though we said we think FanFest was going to start getting news pretty early in the year. I think Universal Hollywood is really on a sequence now in terms of their marketing. We go from FanFest Then we have Mega Movie Summer, which is a new thing, but it's much smaller. It's kind of at the park operations. Some extra meet and greet characters, a few more photo opportunities, stuff like that. Then they go into Horror Nights. Then they go into their Grinchmas they do for Christmas, which is all Grinch themed, and then they reset the cycle. So I think they wanted to let Grinchmas breathe. I'm not sure if it's over today, but it's over, early January. It's ending.
Spiritually, for me, it was over once I saw the lines.
It was crazy this year. I've never been to Grinchmas. I'm not a big fan of the Ron Howard Grinch. I know it was sacrilege within certain people of our age group, but I just found it...
Yes.
It's weird. I like it because it's weird. I don't think it's very good. I like that it's absolutely bizarre. It's like a acid trip of a Grinch movie, but it's bad. The acting's good, but the movie is bad. So
the movie was amazing.
I think if you have a little kid and he's really into Grinch, it's worth it. But then it's a 4-hour line. I was reading 4 hours to meet the Grinch, which is crazy to me.
That's what I was telling you. Emotionally, I was checked out the moment I saw the lines.
I saw pictures of the crowds. It was crazy. We thought the crowds for Horror Nights were bad, and they had the same crowd on New Year's Day for Grinchmas, a week after Christmas is over.
I wonder how they do it, like, just to stand in those lines for 4 hours plus.
If you're an LA influencer, you are just a different breed in terms of waiting to take a 3-minute, encounter with something.
Did you see that one of those guys proposed to his girlfriend?
Did the Grinch clown on him?
No, so it looked like the girlfriend was gonna say no. And the Grinch kind of like saved the day by taking over the attention.
It would be funny if the Grinch waited until the wedding and then they went to the venue and all their stuff was gone, and they could see the Grinch running away, like with Max in his sleigh with all the food and the catering and the wedding bands in the back of his sleigh.
Nah, you know the Grinch is gonna be the one that's when they say, "Does anyone have any reason why these two should not be wed?" He'd be the one screaming,
"I object."
Exactly.
Yep.
That's his role.
So we do think they are going to start announcing FanFest. It's very odd the way they've been doing. It's a little strange where they announced we're doing Scooby-Doo before Horror Nights. It was a long time ago they announced that, and they said also tickets are on sale, which is very strange. I thought tickets were on sale so soon, and then it's been radio silent ever since. I follow their account on Instagram, and they post stories, not infrequently, once every 2 weeks or so, but it's just about nothing. It's just like, buy your FanFest tickets. It's like, I'm not going to until you start selling the front of the line passes.
Right.
So we'll come back. I predict probably February. We'll have a more full lineup, at least in terms of what properties are coming. Probably not in terms of where everything's going to be and a better idea of what the experiences will be until March or maybe even April. But we'll come back. But getting back to our main point, we had a big walk around there. Today is Horror Nights focus, but we do have some industry news first. Aleven, are you excited for industry news?
I am so excited that I'm starting to lose control.
I think you like it and you just can't fight it.
It's something inside me. No, it's not.
You know where I was going. Anyways, it is big news, not just for theme parks and movies, but kind of for the whole country. Warner Brothers went up for sale, and we had known this was coming. We've talked about it before on the podcast that it looks like Warner Brothers was going to be sold off, and I thought Universal was going to be the one to buy it. They did submit a bid, but Paramount also submitted a bid, and Netflix was kind of the surprise bidder. It was a surprise to me. I guess if you were an industry watcher, it probably wasn't as surprising. But Netflix got the winning bid. Paramount is still fighting it. The government may decide to sue to try to stop it. I don't think anyone is particularly excited about the Brave New World, where Netflix owns everything that Warner Brothers does, and they probably stop putting movies in theaters. They say they're not going to do that, but it feels like they're going to put them in theaters for a little bit, and then it'll be like a 2-week theatrical window or something, or they'll just do it for a year or two, and then they'll stop doing it.
I don't know about that, considering the fact that they just put Stranger Things into theaters for the finale of the show.
Hit. I think it made $25 million in a day, for one day, in the middle of the week, which is pretty impressive.
So the idea that they're going to stop having movies in theaters seems kind of like, I don't know about that.
I think there's room for both. I think for certain movies, like if there's a new Batman movie, like I'm a big Batman fan, which will come up later. If you have a new Batman movie, and hey, it's on Netflix day one, but if you want to, you can go see it in the theater. I'm still going to go to the theater to see it. I want that experience. So I think there is a world where they can live side by side.
I think also too, if you take into consideration, like, I don't know, I think my idea is like people with large families who are like, theater's kind of expensive, but if I pay like $19.99 at home to rent it, quote unquote, day of, and we can all watch it, then that's probably where they can be like middle ground kind of deal. Because the people who want to see it in the big screen will go to see it in the big screen, and the people who are more cost conscious might just choose to watch it at home.
Yeah, so when you have all the nephews and the cousins who only like Batman, 10%, they're like, we're just going to watch it on Netflix. Then you get the real Batman nerds together. You say, hey, we're all going to dress in our bat suits and we're going to go to the movie theater.
Yes.
It's a smaller group.
It's a smaller group, but it tends to have just a little bit more disposable income.
But especially when you're dealing with something in fandom like Stranger Things, there is a big group that'll turn out. I mean, that those shows were selling out. I remember I was thinking we could try to do the one around, I think right after Christmas they had a few showings. I was that might be fun to go to while I was in Southern California. And they were all, by the time I looked, they were sold out, just wall to wall.
Oh yeah. The only thing I think that was left, and even those were taken, were the ones that are like the first row right after the screen.
Yeah.
And I saw that and I was like, oh hell no.
Yeah. So regardless of what they do with the actual movie studio, I think this also is the nail in the coffin for Horror Made Here ever returning, which was already very unlikely. If you don't recall, Horror Made Here was a Halloween event that was on the Warner Brothers lot. I don't remember what year was it. I think it was
2016, I think,
and 2019.
Yeah, sounds around.
And I went to both years. You only went to 2019, and 2019 was much better than 18 was very small. 19 they expanded it quite nicely, and it was amazing. It was a great event. It was smaller than Horror Nights, but it felt a lot more personal. You got a lot more interaction with the scare actors.
Well, that's because they were allowed to talk to you.
And you were, yes, that was the big difference. Is they would talk to you specifically as you were going through. Amazing. I remember they had the It Welcome to Derry. And I was wearing a leather jacket, and one of the bullies who had like the spray can of flames, he was like, I'm gonna get you leather jacket. I thought it was really cool.
You also had a Batman a shirt.
I did, and Joker got really mad that I was wearing a Batman shirt.
Joker,
so we were all declared guilty.
Yeah, Joker clowned on you.
Yes. And you might have guessed, because we just mentioned It and Batman, they did a great job leveraging their Warner Brothers IP, and the whole thing took place on a backlot. It wasn't a theme park. You were actually on backlot for the whole time, which was really cool. And
we also actually got to visit Camp Crystal Lake.
We
Very
did.
immersive.
They used the jungle set on the Warner Brothers backlot, so it felt like you were actually in a forest. I thought the Jason maze at Universal, you can listen to a review, we thought it was incredible. But it is a different level of. It felt like you were in a real camp. It was crazy. It was really great.
Yeah.
Didn't come back in 2020 because of COVID. Stuff started reopening 2021 in terms of horror attractions. They say, hey, we're not doing it this year. Watch this space. 2022 didn't say anything. 2023 kind of felt like it was over. Now Netflix isn't going to go in for that. What Netflix will probably go in for is licensing out to Horror Nights. So the last few years, we've seen. The Warner Brothers properties have been really tied up at Six Flags. They do have an overall deal for theme park daytime attractions, at least, at Six Flags. They have Justice League rides there, and they're very light themed. It's a roller coaster. Maybe the queue is like you're in the Batcave, but it's just a roller coaster at the end. And they've also had Saw and The Conjuring, and even in Mexico City they had DC Zombies. That's all been at Six Flags for Halloween. But Netflix has been pretty comfortable. They have a pretty good partnership sharing their properties with Horror Nights specifically. Stranger Things has been a great success at Horror Nights every year it's come. There was one year it got bad reviews and it didn't come back the next year, but then it came back for Stranger Things 4. And it was a huge success. They did The Haunting of Hill House, which was it was big at the time. It didn't last. It's a very good series. If you're into horror, I highly recommend it. First 2 episodes kind of tough to get through, but stick with it. It gets a lot better.
Wasn't it The Haunting of Hill House a 1-season show?
Yeah. There's Haunting of Bly Manor, which is based on Turning of the Screw, which I haven't seen because I haven't read Turning of the Screw, so I want to read it first. but so there's a history there of Netflix sharing their properties with Horror Nights successfully. So if this deal closes, I think we could see potentially more Warner Brothers at Horror Nights, which would mean The Conjuring would come, which means It would come, which means we have a potential at an Arkham Asylum house. And on that note of the Arkham Asylum house, let's pause before I go to my next breaking news topic. How do you feel about how this shakeup might affect Horror Nights and FanFest going forward?
I want there to be a clash of the titans of It versus Vecna now.
That would be fun.
Now that they're in the same property, I want there to be an It versus Vecna, just like we had a Freddy versus Cougar. Freddy versus Jason. I want a Vecna versus It. I want to see who wins.
I feel like Pennywise clears that battle because Vecna just has psychic powers. Pennywise is like, but I guess Pennywise has a better weakness, and Vecna wouldn't be afraid of Pennywise. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's kind of even, I guess. It should really be you put Vecna in Derry and you put Pennywise in Hawkins, and you see who does better fighting the teenagers. Because I feel like the Stranger Things gang is a tougher draw to get than the Losers Club.
Yeah. No, but overall, I think the idea of Warner being bought by Netflix and Netflix's very cozy relationship with Horror Nights, I think we are going to see a lot more Warner properties or ex-Warner properties in Horror Nights now, especially for Batman.
Yeah.
That's going to be...
On that note, I'm going to stop you there to use as my segue. While this sale was going on, there was a separate news story that broke in Bloomberg, so it's not just a total fan, out there in the wind
theory
rumor. It's real business reporting backed up by someone who's willing to stick their name on it. So the reporting was Warner Brothers is in talks to license their DC Comics properties to Universal strictly for theme parks. So it would only be for theme parks. They wouldn't get the movie rights to Batman or Superman or the Justice League, but they would be able to use them in their theme parks, which is probably happening for a few reasons. So
Simpsons.
Six Flags is not doing great in terms of financials. They're contracting. I think they closed one of their parks this year.
Yes.
And it did not.
No, last year. Last year they closed one of the parks.
It's not cheap for them. You're right. The year flipped over. In 2025, one of their parks closed. And it's not cheap for them to keep paying these royalties to Warner Brothers every year to get the Looney Tunes and to get, DC. And I'm not sure it's a great value add for Six Flags. Like I said, it's not a heavily themed. They're not going to invest the kind of money to make a heavily themed land that's really going to draw DC fans out to Six Flags. Like, I'm a huge Batman fan. At least I'm a moderate fan of DC. I'm not drawn to their parks because they just don't invest the same way a Universal or a Disney would with it. Whereas Universal, I think, is highly motivated to get new IP to expand an epic universe. We talked about this new park out in Florida, and it's all based around IP lands. Mm-hmm. And I think having a fully realized Gotham City or Metropolis would really be another hammer that they can bring around Disney in the Florida game. I think that would be the main motivation for Universal to jump on this. I think if they did that, I would go. Because like the current lands, like if they have a Gotham land and a Universal Monsters land, I feel that then there's if I don't go, someone's going to come do a wellness check on me and be like, Ed, why are you not in Orlando right now? I don't know.
Well, that they're going to lose the Simpsons property now that it's Disney.
Is that this year or next year? But it's going to come up for renewal, and all those rumors is they're not going to renew.
Yeah.
Universal, I think, has a renewal right. They can keep renewing in perpetuity, but all the rumors are they're going to let it lapse, tear that down, and build something new. What that's going to be, no one really seems to know. In Orlando, they've been speculating it'll be Oz and kind of Wicked theme, but I'm not sure if I buy that because it just seems like people latched on to what was the hot thing at the time, which was Wicked, but it feels like Wicked 2... It's not doing poorly, but it's not a sensation like the first one was. It's hard to see that sticking around 15 years. I mean, if you're going to build a theme park, it's really got to have that staying power. So I don't know.
It depends on how much there are into defying gravity.
You could just bring Back to the Future. What? Who said that? That's a great idea.
Or Hear me out. E.T.
You have to tear out the mummy for that one. I don't know if that's worth it.
I want E.T. back. E.T. phone home.
So I think bringing DC properties, if they get licensed to Universal for theme parks, I assume, again, this wasn't in the reporting, but I think it's a safe assumption to assume it'll include, after night events, so it would include horror nights. And that I'd be very excited to see. I could see there's a ton of ways you could do it. And we've already seen DC in these spaces at Six Flags be more willing to go places Disney wouldn't with Marvel. They did the DC maze, which is all the DC superheroes, but as zombies. So zombie Superman, zombie Batman, zombie Wonder Woman. I know Marvel did put out Marvel Zombies, but having read the original Marvel Zombies comic in the mid-aughties and then seeing parts of the show, they toned it down significantly for the Disney Plus series. And I think DC would be a little more willing to say, hey, we're at Horror Nights, go all in.
Yeah.
And of course, yeah.
I mean,
you have anything to add? I heard.
Oh no, sorry. I was like, yeah, like I was agreeing with you. Like, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think they'd be, especially because Horror Nights is it's not the Mickey Halloween party. It's known for being a little more hardcore. There's gore. There's some real scares. And you could do it without going all the way to Zombieland. You could stop short and say, hey, we're going to do, Arkham Asylum is the obvious one. But you could do all sorts of different villains mazes. You could do it's Metropolis, but it's been taken over by the Legion of Doom. So you're seeing all these crazy DC villains running around coming after you. And then you see Superman at the end or something. I just feel like there's a lot of ways you could work it into Horror Nights. Maybe not every year, but every few years. Just cycle back, do something else. I think it would be great to see at the event. I'd be very excited. I know I would be.
I want to see the zombie DC superheroes. That was the only reason I was willing to go to like Mexico City this semester.
It was in Mexico City. It was so strange.
It was like, God damn it.
It's the best idea, and it's exclusive to Mexico City.
I was like, what the hell happened there? What kind of deal was made? That was only in Mexico City. Like, you have to fly here. Yeah. I was like, we're not even down to go to Florida, and it's in this country.
It's not even in like the Florida one. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. That's it. That's it for news. So some big shakeups happening in Hollywood. Is it going to flow all the way down to our little world of Halloween Horror Nights eventually? But I think it's not going to be a seismic change the way that it might be at the box office or for people who work in the industry who are always in our minds because it's a tough time to be in production.
Oh yeah, gosh, yeah.
All right, but that is it. That's it for news. So I think now we're gonna go from news to speculation. But after speculation, or if you don't want to listen to speculation, Spotify now has very handy AI-generated chapters. So you can skip ahead if you want to, and you don't mind letting the machines rule your life. So if you don't want to listen to speculation, I suggest you skip around or skip forward to our resolution segment at the very end. It's the new year, and we have some New Year's resolutions coming up at the end of the show, both for us personally and some things that we think Universal Horror Nights should keep in mind for this next year.
Yes, sirritos.
That's at the end of the show. We're teasing you with that. That's something you got to stick around for. So you got to listen to the whole show. All our ad reads that don't exist. So let's dig into the new Horror Nightmares Christmas map, incorporating some of the rumors and the leaks coming out around the community. Have you seen this before? I know I sent it to you, but I don't think you looked at it too in depth. Have you?
No, this holiday season was very rough. I was very busy these past 2 weeks, and I was like, I saw it briefly the day of that you sent me, and then this is the second time.
Well, let's take you on a bit of a grand circle tour of this map and what every symbol connects to, and we'll describe them for our audience, and we'll talk about what we think they mean. So we'll start in the bottom right and we'll make our way around. So the first thing on the map is the Universal Waterworld show area. And the symbol is just a jet ski with some lights on it. Pretty open to interpretation is what I would like to say. Unfortunately, the Purge is coming back. I think it's going to be, I don't know if...
Wait, did you say the Purge is coming back?
Yeah, I think it's just going to be the Purge again. This is the Waterworld stage. It's going to be Dangerous Waters. Again, that's where the rumors are at right now. Again, they could surprise us. I don't think they will. On my first speculation, I said they'll do something else. I said they should import the Resident Evil show from Japan to Hollywood and just alter it to fit the stage. I think it's just going to be more Purge.
Why does it have to be dangerous waters? Why can't it be safe and calm jet streams? No.
I would be more into it if it wasn't dangerous waters. Like, keep it Purge, but just change the story a little bit. Or make it to where you get a different ending. You know, like sometimes the Purgers win, sometimes the security detail wins.
Sometimes neither wins.
You never know what you're going to get. Sometimes they both lose. Sometimes the plane crashes out. Just have something to make it different this year. Because we've talked about the stunts are good. If you haven't seen it before, still I recommend it just purely based on the stunts. It's fun how they do the blood effects, which is spurts of red water coming out of everywhere. You know, if you're into horror, that's fun for you. If you're not into horror, why are you listening to us? But we've seen it so many times now. A lot of the choreography, I think, is borrowed from the Waterworld show. You're missing the finale. And the story is, again, the story shouldn't be an issue. It should be a very basic story, but it is actually an issue because it's so bad, it draws me out of it and makes me angry. So, fix the story, do a different show. I don't know. I think they're going to do none of the above. The only benefit of Purge Dangerous Waters is it sucks people out who would be waiting in line to go see it, but every year it's the same show with the same property over again. I feel like that benefit becomes less and less.
Yeah, especially, I feel like they're ones like misstep away from calling the governor the Mariner.
That would be better. Purge Dangerous Waterworlds.
Hey!
So, it's what it is. If it's well, I mean, we didn't go see it last year. I don't think we would go see it this year if it comes back. It's kind of a been there, done that situation. Moving along, the DreamWorks Theater. This hosted the Chainsaw Man show last year. 2 years before that, it was Late Night with Freddy. Before that, it was the Megan teaser, the Blumhouse world. And this year is unknown. They do not have speculation yet. I'm still maintaining my earlier prediction. I think it'll be another anime show. I think that has been a success, importing something from Universal Studios Japan. It draws a crowd. FanFest proved beyond a doubt there's a big anime FanFest who goes to these kinds of things. I think they like it. I think it draws a crowd. It's not my cup of tea, but I'm glad it's there for those people. Do you think they're going to do something more creative, or is it just going to be another import?
I think it might be an import, but did you say it was Late Night with Freddy? I think it was Late Night with Chucky.
You're right. Late Night with Chucky. Late Night with Freddy would be good.
Animatronics.
If they let him, curse,
The
answers weren't pre-selected.
I had high hopes for Chucky, and they were dashed.
They were dashed, yeah.
They were sanitized.
They were dashed just as the hopes of a child who got a good guy doll for Christmas would have been dashed.
I don't know. I like anime. Some of these animes I haven't watched.
I don't think you saw the... You might have gone when you went later to Horror Nights the second time, but we didn't see it when we went.
No, we did not. We skipped that one. I saw it, the second time when I went to Horror Nights. But
last year we went. Usually we would start at 5, and last year we started at 6, so we kind of lost an hour, and we really felt the missing hour at the end of the.
Oh yeah, we ran out of time.
We ran out of time.
We
would have liked to do a lot more than we did.
We didn't get to do any repeats at all.
Yeah,
we were like, we were hustling, we were bustling, we were like. It
was a great year, but neither here nor there.
Yeah. Either way, I think anime's fine. Depends on what anime they're gonna choose. It could be a hit or miss.
I don't know what they have. You would think I would have done research and tried to learn. I did try once. It's not easy to learn that.
No.
If it was easy, I would know, but it's not, so I don't.
And you won't.
We'll see. It might just be the same show from last year, honestly. They might just rerun it.
Just like Purge Dangerous Waters is every year.
Yeah. Moving along. We're getting exciting now. So we're going to talk about the 2 Curious George houses. These are the ones that you walk past Hogwarts. Last year it was Terrifier and Poltergeist. Mm-hmm. First up, and I believe the Poltergeist location is the picture of it's a pin cushion. So if you know what a pin cushion is, when you sew, you have a little cushion, you stick your pins in there. So it looks like 5 pins sticking out of a pin cushion. And this is, I think I nailed it on my first speculation. I think my location was off, but I think I nailed the property. You think of horror, you think of pins, you think of pin cushion. What comes to mind? Horror, pins, Aleven. What is it?
Hellraiser.
It's Pinhead, Hellraiser. We think this is the year. Talked about it a little last time, but we'll catch you back up. Clive Barker regained the rights to Hellraiser 2 years ago because of a California law causing the IP for film scripts to return to the writers after X amount of years. X amount of years have passed since he wrote Hellraiser, so he gained the rights to that whole universe. This year, a Hellraiser video game has been announced to be coming out. So he's been shown to be open to licensing it out to different creative people who aren't just under his tight control. And there's been a lot of rumors that have really been heating up about Hellraiser. It's one of my top 20 horror movies of all time. I think it was 18 on the list, but I think after watching it, I think I wanted to put it higher on the list. I think it's a really great movie. I'd be excited either for just a walkthrough of that first movie. I think there's enough in there between the 4 different Cenobites and the Frank character who starts out just skeletal and slowly regrows muscle, kind of like a zombie who's not decaying but going the other way. I think there's enough scares in there to make a house out of. You could also just do a Hellraiser universe where you're going through Pinhead's labyrinth and you're faced with all kinds of Cenobites. I think there's a lot of different ways you could go with this. I think it's all exciting. We haven't seen other property before. It's one of the last kind of big 80s, 90s slashers that hasn't come to Horror Nights before. I'd be extremely excited if it was to come, even if I don't think it's a property that hits super hard outside of the horror nerd community. I think it's important to have something like this that gets the horror nerds buzzing. What about you? Where are you at on Hellraiser?
I really like the idea of, as soon as you enter the maze, if he goes, you open the box, so I came. I really want that. When we saw it to review it, I hadn't seen it prior to that, so really seeing all those practical effects from the 80s was really jarring, because there was a lot of blood.
There's a lot. But it's all practical. There might be a little I think there's some stop motion. I don't think there's CGI off the top of my head. It's
dude.
all done. It's really good practical effects. It's honestly, Hellraiser might be the pinnacle. The first one might be the pinnacle of like that 80s gore practical effects. And it's so good. And I'm not someone who loves, like a Gorno movie like The Hostels or the later Saws. I'll watch the later Saws. The games are a little interesting. The Hostels, nothing for me. But I do kind of like the practical stuff. And I know it's fake. It doesn't look real, but it's...
Well,
I find it interesting to watch.
You're framing it from our 21st century vision.
Maybe at the time it was real.
Of course, from that time, some of this stuff was like...
Those people in the 80s didn't know anything.
Well, people in the 2050s are going to be like, wow, those people from the 2020s, these things look so fake. How can they think it's real?
Yeah. So, if you haven't seen it, it's a good winter movie, I think. It takes place mostly in one house, so it's kind of cozy for a gory horror movie.
Yeah.
And I'd be really excited. I would love it. This would be probably one of the top. I mean, because there's some real heavy hitters. Just to spoil that as we go along, there's some real heavy hitters in this lineup, but this might be at the top for me. It's hard to tell.
Question: which one's your favorite Cenobite?
Oh, just Pinhead, just normal Pinhead.
He's
the one who talks. He's got that deep voice.
That's true. The other Cenobites were a little too.
There's the chatter who just chatters.
Yeah. There's the.
I like Butterball. He's fun.
The lady Cenobite was just...
Yeah, I can't say her name on the air. It's not appropriate.
No, we cannot.
You should look it up. It's funny.
All right.
Looking on the next one. So the next clue, this is also at the Curious George lot, which is past Hogwarts. This is in the Terrifier location, I believe, if I'm reading the map correctly.
Yep.
It is a lighter. The lighter has 2 snowflakes and some presents on it, and 2 cigarettes are being lit at this lighter. This is one I didn't really have a good guess on, but the community is settling on Sinners. Did you see Sinners last year?
No, I saw half of the movie.
Did you like it?
The first half was okay.
Okay.
It was kind of odd.
This one really hit in like the film Twitter sphere. People who are like really into like cinema. They loved it. They were really over the top crazy for that. And usually when that crowd loves a movie, I just stay away. Because I had such a bad experience with Jordan Peele and Us. It really just soured me on that whole world. But it was it was extremely well received movie. It did quite well at the box office. It's based around two brothers, and they're both played by Michael B. Jordan. He's playing two parts using technology.
Question is, did he get double the salary?
No.
Damn
Maybe,
it.
I don't know. It's a Ryan Coogler movie. He did Fruitvale Station. He did Black Panther. He's a very accomplished director. It's a vampire movie. It's these two brothers who are gangsters in Chicago. Twin brothers come back to their small town in the South. They set up a blues nightclub, and then they're beset by vampires. That's a very high-level summary. If you haven't seen it, again, it's been very well received. No harm taking it off if you have it in your streaming service. Probably a fun time if you like vampires. I think it would get a good amount of buzz just because it's a new property. Again, within that film critic or that elevated horror crowd, I think they'd be excited. I'm not sure if there's a lot of crossover between those people and Horror Nights because they're very snobbish and they might think it's below them to go to Horror Nights. But within a certain segment, it's going to get some buzz. Again, I think bringing new movies in is always a good idea. So I don't know if it's going to move my personal excitement lever, but I think it would be a good get if that's it. The other speculation in this space has been the Black Phone 2, which I also haven't seen because I saw Black Phone 1. I thought it was great, and I thought I just really don't need a sequel. It was good.
Yeah,
it was fun. So
I was like, no notes.
Yeah,
Great movie.
We did see the living trailer for Black Phone 2 as part of the Blumhouse Terror Tram last year. I remember the grabber they had a cool effect where it was foggy. It looked like he was ice skating. That was cool.
That was great. He was on wheelies. Did you notice that?
Yeah,
oh,
cool.
Heelys. He was on
the
Heelys.
Blumhouse Terror Tram it impressed me. I had very low expectations. I enjoyed it. That was one of the standout effects. But apparently cigarettes are a big part of that movie, so there's been some speculation in that direction as well. This one kind of came out of nowhere. It showed up on the map, but it wasn't a rumor I had really heard before, just because Ryan Coogler is thought of as a little more a highbrow director than just Horror Nights. He's not, an Eli Roth who's just kind of in the trenches, or a Rob Zombie just making these grindhouse horror movies. But we've seen Jordan Peele is kind of thought of in that same way, and he brought Us to Horror Nights. So I don't think that's completely out of the realm of speculation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I feel like Sinners is an okay pretty film. Like, I saw like half of it, and I was like, it's a lot of like people drama versus like horror drama in the beginning.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a little more. They call it elevated horror. I think that's a dumb name. I call it art house horror. Those think more of them. Those movies think more of themselves.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Even if it were to be that, I feel like it'd be kind of hard to do it because then essentially you'd be repeating the same like 5 vampires everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Well, you could just it'd be a vampire maze. I think vampire mazes are fun. I know there's a big music element to the movie, so I think it would be a semi-music maze, which would be fun. I like that with Slash. I wouldn't be music by Slash, but to have that blues music, then the vampires are Irish, so it would be contrasting with kind of the Irish folk music. I think that could be fun to go through the different styles.
River dancing vampire.
River dancing vampire, exactly. So, moving on from Sinners. Next up is the Terror Tram, which is a big red sack. That's it. And when I looked at this sack, it's a little lumpy, kind of like a Santa sack, but also kind of like a trash sack. And who do we know from Horror Nights who was very popular that's known for a trash sack?
Terrifier. Art the Clown.
And that made me think of, instead of the Terror Tram, what if it's the Terrifier Tram?
Ooh. What about...
Feels like that pun is a little irresistible.
Yeah.
What about speculated that Terrifier would come back? I think this would be a good way to use it without just having a rehash of last year, because you could reuse a lot of the props, a lot of the costumes, but in a new environment, and you would give you an excuse to bring back the Art the Clown walk-around character, who was super popular.
Yeah, no, art was very popular to the point where people were actively harassing the scare actors.
It was a problem in Orlando and Hollywood. We
Yeah.
were very well behaved with walk around art. We saw him a few times, and he didn't have a crowd following. He was walking around like he was supposed to be.
That's because we know better.
Yeah, we have more manners. Out here.
We're used to celebrities to the point that sometimes
Yeah, it's not
celebrities
exciting for us.
it feels very blasé.
Call us when it's Taylor Swift.
No, but this could be the very artistic tram.
Yeah, his favorite color of paint is red, I think.
Yes, it is. What's black and white and red all over?
I think it would be good again to bring. We saw the reaction at Midsummer Scream when Art the Clown came out on stage with a Horror Nights panel. I mean, this is it's beloved by the horror community. I do think last year was peak Terrifier. I think it's now going to be on the downtrend. My prediction is Terrifier 4 is going to be too involved in its own lore and kind of it won't be as popular as the first three.
No.
Because this is usually when the horror franchise starts to really stag as the fourth movie on.
I mean, when we were watching, what was it, the Jason films, it got to the point where it got very repetitive.
The Jason films start to sag at number 1. Then they kind of come back in the middle and then back down, and then they're very up and down.
Yeah.
Listen to our entire Friday the 13th series retrospective exclusively on the Halloween Horror Nerds podcast. It's very good. It's my favorite thing we've ever done.
Yeah. No, it was a Jason Fest.
Yeah, Jason Fest. Listen to Jason Fest.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the Terror Tram. Again, I think that's it'd be a good use of the Terror Tram. I'd be excited for it. And moving on.
They dump us by the by the pizzeria.
Yeah. Moving on to a scare zone. So most of these scare zones they don't have a clue for, so I didn't update my speculation. It's just the same, except for the iconic Baby Crow scare zone. It's an ornament with a crow inside, which leads me to think that they're saying Baby Crow is back again.
Mm-hmm.
Are you
Back
excited
and feathery
for
than
the
the more.
return of Baby Crow?
I am getting to the point where I'm like, thank you. What about Teenage Crow?
Thank you. Next.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, last year, part of it was just that, like I said, we were just kind of toasted by the end of the night, and we were tired, and park was almost closing. But we just blew past Baby Crow last year. Whereas the year before, and I think Baby Crow shone 2 years ago because the park around him was a lot weaker. And then suddenly you put him in an environment where every house is a banger. And you don't want to stop because you're on the way to the next great offering. And suddenly Baby Crow was a whole lot of not so great.
It was a nothing burger because everything was pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was like, hey, there's Baby Crow as you're walking past. You do not stop. Yeah.
No, we first of all, even if we wanted to stop, we could not stop.
If you want to do more Baby Crow, just give them a whole house and just do Murder of Crows, The Nest, and really go in for it. On the other hand, I mean, the scare zones have become so slight at this point. I mean, it's whatever.
What do we
scare zone on the map?
What do we combine Baby Crow and Fast and the Furious? Murder of family murder, familia murder.
I think Baby Crow is too young to drink cervezas, and I'm been told that's a big part of being part of the familia.
Imagine just Baby Crow driving in his spruced up car.
Only if he's played by Vin Diesel.
You know, was there ever a question
with
about
a prosthetic? That? He has a big prosthetic beak, but nothing else has changed. It's just.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, I'd watch that too. All right, moving along. That was a lot of nonsense for not a lot. Moving on to the Universal Plaza maze. This has been the Latin America Monstros for the last 3 years. Before that, it was La Llorona. So it's been 4 years of being a Latin maze. This year, the clue is a multicolored text of Feliz Navidad. So they're guessing it's going to be another Latin-themed maze. With that in mind, I mean, the only things like I know of that are horror in Latin America, as an ugly American who doesn't know culture, is the Chupacabra or Island of the Dolls, because I've researched that for earlier speculation episodes.
Now, what does that mean? What does Feliz Navidad mean? For those who don't know.
Oh, you think we have people in the Midwest who don't speak Spanish listening to us?
Maybe. You never
Our
know.
entire listenership is in Southern California.
Hey. No, you've seen the stats. We've had some Russian
Everyone
listeners.
has heard this song, Feliz Navidad, and they translate it for you in the stanzas.
Costanza? Okay, Jerry.
So it means Merry Christmas. So what do you think?
Yeah.
How do you feel about another Latin maze?
I honestly don't know what kind of horror things are in... Hold on. So what moment in time is this so we can clip it?
Go with... You just said something. You were like...
I don't think there's anything horror in Christmas in Hispanic culture.
Alright, so start from there.
Okay. I don't think there's anything horror themed around Christmas in Hispanic culture.
Oh, no. It's not going to be Christmas. It's just saying... Because all these clues are vaguely Christmas themed. It's going to be Latin.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I just imagine La Llorona fighting Santa Claus.
Santa Claus would clear that battle.
Oh, you know what? You know how Santa uses a whip with the reindeer?
Yeah.
Is he gonna start whipping the chupacabra when he tries to take a bite out of a reindeer?
Krampus would. I mean, what do you think? Do you think there's more to mine in the scary Latin America mine?
Didn't they say it was gonna be a 4-volume arc?
Well, last time they said it was a 3-volume Monstros trilogy, and last year was the last year. So presumably, even if we're staying with a Latin theme, it's not going to be Monstros. It'll be probably just one monster or one specific setting. Which again, I mean, my Chupacabra cryptid ideas is right there. It's right there for the grab. Everyone loves Chupacabras, guys.
But everyone's kind of seen Chupacabra. I'm ready to... Okay, I don't know. I feel like I'm ready to see something new. Can we move to a different country?
They were saying they should do, Asian horror and do 1 year Japan, 1 year Korea, 1 year, China or Southeast Asia would be cool.
Yeah.
But they seem... I think and we've talked about this before, I think they like selling the Mexican food in Universal Plaza out of the food trucks, and they want to keep that theming.
They sell Mexican food at not Mexican food prices. No, I would be really down if they... I think it's... Okay, we're in Southern California. Hispanic community is really big here. This is probably why they're still sticking with it.
But I feel like... Because I know a lot of Hispanic people in Southern California, and they don't only eat Hispanic food.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot.
It's like it's a diverse palette in Southern California. There's a lot of food. I feel like there'll be, if someone shows up, they're like, oh, there's no tacos. They're gonna be okay.
Yeah. I would be really down if they did Asia, just because it would be like eating my California roll with my ramen,
sushi, like a sushi truck. That'd be
good. Dude.
Although I don't know, I'm not gonna eat raw fish from a theme park.
Okay, that fair because raw fish, theme park, hot day.
Yeah,
not a good combination.
And it's at night, that's been out all day. Yeah.
Especially on a food truck.
Although I do eat the crab at the buffet, so maybe I'm a.
You're rolling the dice there. You're rolling the dice.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but every year the crab legs get smaller and they're more hidden under the shrimp.
Oh, of course, because those are expensive. No, but I was. It doesn't have to be specifically like raw fish in that regard. Like, there's other like.
You're right. There's Asian food. There's a lot of it. It's all pretty good.
Yeah.
You can even do fusion, so it can still be a taco.
Yeah, especially if you're thinking of the continent of Asia, it also includes like India. Yeah, and their palate is a lot different.
Indian food at horror nights.
Homie, there's
That's
a lot.
That's not real horror, is when you have to go to the ET bathroom.
Stop! Don't stop! Stop! No, no. But there's a lot of countries in Asia, and like there's
and great food.
Yeah, it's Southern California has a bunch of little like neighborhoods where we're just kind of used to being able to drive a few miles, and you're hitting up a different kind of palette, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It feels like it's a little overplayed at this point.
I mean, last year I was already at the point. I mean, we were on the tour, so we were doing everything. And we got a review for the podcast. But if I was just going, let's say I was just going from the first time, I had an express pass, and I could go do anything else or Monstros 3, I would have said, I'm not going to do Monstros 3. I'd rather do any other maze again than do it for the first time. And I would be there probably for the same, unless it comes out with Chupacabra or something really unique. That breaks the mold. If it's just like, it's not Monstros, but it's one monster in the same kind of settings and basically the same kind of monster you've seen before, I'm just not going to get excited for it.
Yeah. Honestly,
it's the one miss. This is the one miss, I think, on the spec map. But let's move on to something a little more interesting. So this is a complicated clue. The way that people tried to solve this, I thought, was interesting. It might have been a stretch. I don't know. And again, this is all rumors.
Mind you, where is this clue at?
Okay, so this is in the permanent black box space where the Walking Dead attraction used to be. Last year, this housed the Fallout, and for FanFest, it housed Star Trek, Red Alert. I'm going to give you the clue, and I'm going to give you 5 seconds to think of something. So it's a carton. It's a milk carton, and it says eggnog on the carton. So with that, what do you think the property is?
Okay, so eggnog. Milk carton has historically been used a lot when putting faces of missing kids.
Okay, interesting.
So
can you link that to a horror franchise?
Yes, Black Phone. Missing
children.
Black Phone. Missing children.
You think this is Black Phone? Too.
It could be Black Phone, just because it takes place in the time where missing kids were all plastered on the milk cartons.
Okay.
But the fact that it's eggnog.
It's not missing kids.
Yeah, the fact that it's eggnog is a little different. If it was just
because everything here is.
Oh, it's Christmas. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. That's not where people online were going. It's not where I went.
Where did you go?
So you were on the right track. I mean, if everyone is correct, the right track of the egg carton and the missing kids. But also, eggnog is a kind of dairy. Now do you see the connection?
Yes.
So the speculation right now for this black box space, long rumored, this is the closest we've had to any kind of official hard speculation. Welcome to Dairy.
The TV show. No.
It's unknown. There's debate. Is it going to be the TV show? Is it going to be the movies? Look, I didn't like this TV show. I watched the first episode and a half, and I turned it off because
not a lot of people did.
Bad.
Not a lot of people did.
It was. I've seen stuff from later on that looked better, like once Pennywise is really a presence. But the first episode and a half was really bad.
Yeah, not even Skarsgård could save it at that point.
Yeah, but again, it would be cool to see Pennywise at Horror Nights. That's been the dream for a long time. Obviously, we would rather have the official, chapter 1, chapter 2, just mush them into one, because only part 1's really good, and have the It walkthrough house. A lot of Pennywise. We had it at Horror Made here. It was great. We did a whole It escape room experience that was kind of at a Horror Nights escape room level. You can read our Horror Nerds Do Vegas episode. You listen to it to learn more about that.
I still have nightmares from oh my god, the lady
just telling us every step of every puzzle.
No, the screaming.
Oh,
the screams.
Yeah, I had blocked that memory out. Thanks for reminding me.
Of course. Here for you, buddy.
But this would be a great, even if it's Welcome to Dairy, just to have on the marquee and for the advertisements. Pennywise at Horror Nights sells itself.
No, question. Which Pennywise? The OG Pennywise?
Oh.
Or Skarsgård's Pennywise?
It would be the Skarsgård one.
Yeah, most likely. I would still want the original. What if we had
cool
both?
Let's say it happens. It would be really cool if for one scare it was the Tim Curry. If there's one Tim Curry Pennywise in the whole maze, that would be cool.
It'd be fun if it was a Tim Curry Pennywise, and in the plaza they sold curry.
That would be cool. What if it's just a Tim Curry maze, and it's really you're supposed to get to it, but then you're supposed to think Tim Curry, and then get to Rocky Horror Picture Show maze?
Oh my god. That's from the trans sections from Transylvania.
I mean, that'll get the kids to stop coming.
Oh,
The Gen Z is not ready for the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
They are not. What if once you get inside, there's a fork in the road?
Well, you have a flat tire, but there's a light on at the old Frankenstein place.
Yes. I feel like we're ready for that.
Well, I mean, I'd be excited for it, even if it's Welcome to Derry. This would be, it'd be a big boost for the event. I think if they're doing that, this would be the character I would bring out on stage. Midsummer Scream, just have him do his iconic weird dance. It would be good. I think this would be good. Again, I'm a little skeptical only because this is one that the fans have been asking for so long. It's not coming. We missed it. It feels like they've missed the moment. But again, there is the new TV series. They want to promote it. Maybe that's the end.
You know what would make it better if they took elements of WB's version where the scare actors could talk to us, and they had it interact with us, where he battled us to a dance off. Who could do his dance better? You could have a walk
around Pennywise instead of a walk around Art, and he could do the dance.
Yes, I would want to battle him in a dance off.
I think he would school you, bud.
Damn it. Guy can dream.
Moving on. We're going to the lower lot. So the first one to talk about is now. I think also there's an extra maze on here compared to last year. I think they bumped up the number of mazes. Is that correct? Let me double check my work.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
Wait, no. Maybe.
So
I don't know.
Hold on. Let's think about it.
Anyways, moving on. This is the Jurassic World Q maze. This was the WWE Horror of the Wyatt 6. Yes, there is. There's
an extra one. There's an extra one by Jurassic World. By Jurassic World.
No, Jurassic World was the Horror of the Wyatt 6 last year.
Yeah, but there's two back there now. There's
another one over by the Mummy. I haven't gotten there yet. I'm getting there last. Now we're going to talk about the Jurassic World Q, which is a cartoon ghost, kind of like a Charlie Brown ghost with the cutout eyes, holding a kitchen knife and wearing a Santa Claus hat. Do you want to make a guess? Because this one also there's a few steps involved, and there's a Murdy separate tweet clue that connects to it. So there's a lot going into this one. So make your guess.
All right, let's see now. So it's a ghost.
Yep.
And it has a knife. Is the butcher's the classic.
It's a kitchen knife.
It's a classic.
It's like a sharp, not a. It's kind of like a butcher's knife, but not like a cleaver.
I feel like this one implies that I should yell. Some might say I should scream.
Interesting. That was a popular response. There was a lot. Actually, this was kind of when this map came out. I think that was the consensus at first. It's also wrong. And I will tell you why. Because Murdy had tweeted out that he when he tweeted this out, I was like, I just wrapped up one of my things. It was a maze that we were going to do in 2018, but they pulled out at the last minute, and now it's back.
Ooh.
In 2018, I looked this up. I actually did the homework. In 2018, we had Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. The reason we got that was because we were supposed to get Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Have you ever seen Halloween 3, Season of the Witch?
No, I don't think I have.
What's curious about Halloween 3 is that it doesn't feature Michael Myers at all. It takes place in its own continuity. It's about a evil costume company that is kind of... They follow ancient Celtic Samhain traditions. They're trying to have a mass sacrifice through these cursed Halloween masks on Halloween night. It's an interesting movie. It's not great. It is good if you're into old 70s, 80s horror. It's very interesting that it's in the Halloween franchise. Originally, the idea had been every Halloween movie would be a different story. They wouldn't be connected. So John Carpenter made Halloween. Then he said, well, everyone wants to make Halloween 2, so he made Halloween 2. But he considered that to be the end of Michael Myers' story. He thought, well, I killed Michael Myers off in that one. I can't bring him back. That's ridiculous. So it's a new story now. everyone went to see Halloween 3. There was no Michael Myers, so everyone hated it. They brought him back for part 4. But then in the more modern era, it's kind of had a reevaluation as standing on its own legs, and it's much more appreciated now. Now, that was supposed to come in 2018. And we know that because it was going to be in the Waterworld queue, and someone on their way to Waterworld stuck their phone through the chain link fence, past the little fabric cover, and took a picture of the facade, which was the Silver Shamrock Factory, which is the cursed mask company. Mm-hmm. So we know for a fact it was coming because someone illegally stuck their phone into a restricted area, took a picture, posted it on the internet. I saw the picture. And the rights holders...
You saw the picture? Terrible.
Yeah, it was just online. It wasn't hard to get. It was everywhere on these horror nerd communities. And the rights holders for Halloween 3 got really angry that it had leaked out before it was supposed to be announced. Yeah. And actually, there was another property that is even more secret. This I'm not going to tell this one on air, but if you somehow follow us, I think there's like 3 of you, and you track me down and ask me in person, I'll tell you what it is. But there's another property, and people were so mad that this Halloween 3 leaked. We lost Halloween 3. They pulled out at the last minute. After construction had began, they pulled out. And another property also pulled out because these Hollywood people are very sensitive and they hate leaks. So we got Halloween 4 as kind of a last-minute replacement. Originally, the idea had been that we're going to reinterpret Halloween 3 to feature not only the evil mask, but also to have Michael Myers. So it's Michael Myers stalking you through the events of Halloween 3. People feel this is pointing to that because of the scene in Halloween 1 where Michael Myers is wearing the ghost costume, looks just like this, and he also wields that butcher knife.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people. They
actually use a Bowie knife, not a butcher's knife. It's
interesting.
Actually, nerd fact for you.
Yes, very nerdy. Yes. Almost like it's the Hollywood horror nerds.
Exactly. That's a deep cut. Knife is every. That would be a good trivia game. We should do horror trivia. That would be one of my. You have to name the exact correct weapon for all these. Not just knife, like what kind of knife.
Jesus.
Anyway,
Christ.
How do you feel after all that? How do you feel about Halloween 3? Is that moving the needle for you?
It is moving it down because if I'm not mistaken, I don't want to do it because if I'm not mistaken, Halloween films wasn't this one this was the cult section of Halloween.
No, it's before that.
It's before the cult. Oh my god, it's
its own thing. It's a standalone movie.
My god, this was no. I want to see Michael.
Oh no, this would have Michael. It's Michael in Halloween 3 is the idea.
But you said
you're not going to have Halloween without Michael.
But you just said that Halloween 3 was not Michael.
Yes, the movie isn't, but the idea for the maze, according to what leaked out in 2018, was that it was going to be the plot of Halloween 3 guest starring Michael Myers.
That sounds so
it would be the
wacky.
Scenes from the movie, but with Michael coming after you.
Okay, so, interesting.
I mean, it gets Michael back on the marquee. We talked about this last time, that it's been a while, because usually we get Leatherface or Michael Myers kind of like clockwork every other year, and Leatherface was 2 years ago, so it's Michael's turn.
What about if we did like Halloween was it Halloween H2O?
H2, you want to do H2O? I feel like H2O's entire reason for existing got obliterated by the 2018 remake.
Oh yeah, it was a terrible movie.
Yeah, I mean, if you were going to pick any Halloween to do, you would pick the 2018 version, right? Because we haven't seen it before. It's pretty. I think that's probably the second best Halloween movie after the first one.
Yeah,
it lost the plot by the time we got to Halloween Ends, but
Halloween Kills.
But I think the rights for that are partially tied up with Disney, so it's impossible.
I want
at Universal.
Well, do we? And I haven't seen this film. Do we see our protagonist Jamie Lee Curtis?
No.
Damn it! See, you're losing me here.
It's a Tom Selleck looking guy.
I don't know. You're losing me. If Jamie Lee Curtis is not running away screaming, Michael! I don't know, man.
Young Jamie Lee.
Surprise me.
Okay. How about
younger Jamie Lee is courageous. Older Jamie Lee is psychotic.
All right. Well, that's how. Look, I'd be excited. I like Halloween 3. I think it's a good movie. I had fun watching it. I think it'd be fun to see it with Michael Myers. And I like seeing Michael. I like seeing these slasher icons. I like seeing at least one every year. Last year we got Jason back. You're not going to top that for a while. So I think just having a nice, Michael Myers is like the McDonald's of Halloween Horror Nights.
You mean the Big Mac?
He's not the best thing. He's not the best cheeseburger out there, but he's familiar and it tastes good.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess so.
It's a good analogy. Good job, Undead Ed. Moving on. Next is the Mummy Cube. So this is, what was here last year? Last year was the Jason. It was Jason Universe. It's the one right to the right of the Mummy. If you're facing towards Transformers, to the right. This one's interesting. It is a Jack-in-the-Box, kind of a semi-menacing Jack-in-the-Box popping out. And there's a little elf with a blue hat and a red shirt who's looking at him kind of like, this guy got a look on his face. Do you want to make a guess? Because this one is a little more out there.
Yeah, well, everything I've been guessing has been wrong.
Well, I think you were within the ballpark for Scream, and I like your Black Phone theory.
Yeah, I mean, my theories
That's why
are right.
I'm letting you keep going. I thought you've been doing pretty well, actually.
Yeah,
you got Terrifier.
I was like, it makes sense. It makes sense.
All right,
the elf.
I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
My prediction for this is that it's not a movie, but it is a familiar character. Ooh, mysterious.
Is it?
Better keep listening to the podcast to figure out what I'm talking about.
Is it Buddy from Elf?
No, it's not Buddy the Elf. Obviously, it's not Buddy the Elf at Hornets. How would that even work? Is he like you can choose the dry path or the wet path, but the wet path is maple syrup?
Yes. Let's see. What horror movies franchise is it? Krampus?
No, you're getting stuck up on the Christmas again.
No. Okay. Give me a clue. Right. Give me a clue.
It's not a movie.
It's not. It
is a Halloween Horror Nights character.
Halloween Horror Nights character. That's Elf, or like what's the
Move
picture?
Past the elf. Get off the elf.
What's the picture itself? What does it show?
You have the page open.
It's a Jack-in-a-Box. So, who is Jack?
Do you know the Jack character in Orlando?
No.
All right. So in Orlando, there is a character called Jack the Clown. In Orlando. They have what they call icons. Every year, because they're really into the original mazes. In Orlando, the original mazes are a bigger deal for the real horror nerds than the licensed mazes, which is the reverse of in Hollywood. And Jack the Clown was, I think, the first icon they ever had. He's one of the most popular, and he recently came out to the West Coast not the coast, but the Western region at Universal Horror Unleashed in Las Vegas. He's kind of the star of the show. He's the MC over there. So Jack in the Box got me thinking it's Jack the Clown. And they want to promote him because now he's in Vegas. They want to bring him out to Horror Nights Hollywood, get people thinking about it, get them familiar with the characters. When they go out to Vegas, they got that connection. But it's not just Jack the Clown. Because last year at Midsummer Scream, Murdy subjected us to this 10-minute diatribe about the history of my favorite original Horror Nights character, Hollywood Harry.
Which was so ridiculous.
And I was like, yes, they're going to announce Hollywood Harry Terror Tramp. Yeah. Some kind of Hollywood Harry base. Hollywood Harry walk around character. It's going to be Hollywood Harry's back. Then he said, and stay tuned. And nothing ever happened.
No.
But I think, and remember, he was on stage with the designer Michael Aiello from Universal Orlando when he said that, home of Jack the Clown. So what I think this is teasing is Jack the Clown versus Hollywood Harry. It's going to be Jack the Clown's moving out west, and Hollywood Harry saying, hey, hold on, this is my territory. It's going to be a versus maze.
That sounds like a good idea. Jack the Clown versus Hollywood Harry.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun.
Very Jason versus Freddy.
For an original maze, I really like... First of all, I think you're right, like Jason versus Freddy. That was really fun, just the versus concept of you get away, you dodge right from Jason, but then you look to your right and Freddy's there, so you try to go back to the left and you couldn't get away. It was really fun. It's unique. They don't do it very often. It comes back every year. They did Dracula versus Wolfman versus Mummy one year, but it wasn't as good. They didn't use that same effect. But people like clowns. I like the idea of the clown-on-clown battle. And also it's shaping up to be a real clown-forward year, if this is all true, between Pennywise, Terrifier Tram, and Jack versus Hollywood Harry. That's 4 different clowns already. And I think if that's true, then you could probably throw clowns back in the front chainsaw zone. So I think it'd be really just theme the whole year to clowns. Scary clowns.
Now that Warner now that Netflix has Warner Frick, why can't we throw Joker in there? The ultimate clown.
Because the sale hasn't closed yet. It's going to take a year to close.
So 2027 is what I'm hearing?
Yeah, 2027. But yeah, I'd be very excited for this. As far as original goes, this would be an original that I'd be really excited about. Both to kind of learn the new character from Orlando, who I'm not familiar with.
No.
We'll probably see. I think we'll probably go to the Vegas one before we go to Horror Night, so we'll be a little familiar with him. And to see Hollywood Harry come back would be fun.
One other thing the Jack in the Box reminded me of was Jack the Ripper. That's another horror icon.
That would be cool. We went through something like that at Midsummer Scream for Micro Haunt.
We did. Yes,
we should really do a better job of promoting Micro Haunt on this show. We only talk about the corporate guys. Moving on. Soundstage 15. This is where Five Nights at Freddy's was last year. Before that, I believe, what was it before? It was The Weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And
Weekend
this year, it was Weekend 2. It was also, I think it was Weekend 1 before that. This year, its clue is a grandfather clock ticking. Tick.
Tock.
Tick. Tock. What is your guess? Aleven.
This feels a little strange. These things feel a little strange.
Yep, I think it's Stranger Things. Stranger Things 5. Have you seen Stranger Things 5 yet? Even though we themed it to you for this episode.
I have not seen the finale. I all the tickets were sold out at the local theaters.
Have you seen the rest of the series at least?
I've seen the recaps of the first 2 seasons again because I saw them when they came out, and I was starting to forget.
but have you seen like Stranger Things 5 up to the finale?
Up to the finale, no. I'm missing
I'm trying to gauge how much I can talk about Stranger Things 5 without ruining it for you.
Just say it.
I was watching. I've seen the whole thing.
Okay.
My brief review is, as a season, it was one of the weaker seasons because it leaned more heavily into action than character or horror, and those were my 2 favorite elements. There's very little horror in season 5. But the character stuff is still good. I think a lot of the acting, there's a few scenes that are bleh, but overall it was good. It's great to see those characters again. And the send-off they give at the end, I mean, there's some decisions maybe I wouldn't make if I was in the writer's room. But
those were creative choices.
You know, it ends in a way that I just saw it last night. It really sticks with you. I thought very strong ending. It's good. Definitely if you're a fan of the show, I would definitely say watch it, finish the journey. It's definitely not a Game of Thrones situation where it's like don't even watch the show.
Mm-hmm.
But as I was thinking because we do this podcast the whole time I watch every episode, I was like, oh, this could be in a Horror Nights maze. Oh, this will probably be in the maze. So the good for Stranger Things 5 is I think there'd be a good variety of different villains because they bring back all of the monsters we've ever seen. You see the Demodog and the Demogorgon. You see Vecna in flashback as a human, and you also see him in his Vecna form. Sometimes you see them kind of merged into one. So it would be a good, like last time we saw Stranger Things, we complained like it's always Vecna. It's Vecna. I think this time you could mix it up with some Demogorgon, some Vecna, maybe a human Vecna, then the military soldiers who are always after them. So I think they could solve that problem. You have a good variety between, they go to a lot of places in the Upside Down. There's a few times that the monsters are chasing them in the real world in different places we haven't seen before. This isn't really a spoiler, so I'll go ahead and talk about it. This time the gang was always hanging out at a radio station. Again, you learned this in the first 5 minutes, so I don't consider a spoiler. So that could be the facade that you walk and you see the radio station. There's again some good 80s music in the show, so you'd be playing one of those songs on your way in. There's a really poignant 80s songs, a few that are playing at the end, so maybe you're playing a different one at the end. I think that would be really cool.
They played Prince's song, didn't they?
I think even though there wasn't a lot of horror in the show, I think remixing scenes from the show this season and just adding the jump scares, I think you easily could make it a solid Horror Nights Maze, a good send-off for Stranger Things. That's door number 1. Door number 2 is Stranger Things and Horror Nights, great relationship. Season 5, not the scariest. Let's do the Stranger Things retrospective. Let's not say it's just season 5. It's all. This is the big Stranger Things send-off. It's going to be season 1 to season 5. All the best scenes. We never saw season 3, really, so let's do a sequence at the Starcourt Mall with a few Russian soldiers. Let's see what we can do about season. Let's walk back into the buyer's house and see the Christmas lights on the wall. Remember that from season 1?
Oh, yes.
That was. I mean, you barely. I mean, the show's gotten so far away, you hardly remember that, but it was so cool at the time. You might be able to see some of the characters that didn't make it through the whole series could pop up. You have a wealth of different monsters now to use in a lot of different environments, and it gives you a chance to go back to season 4. We talked about it in a review. Do the scene with Dustin and Eddie blasting Metallica on top of the trailer in the Upside Down. Just do it right and send it off with a big bang, a big finale. I think that would be a cooler. I don't think door number 2 is where they're going to go. I think it'll just be season 5. But I think door number 2 is possible. I think that would be better. I think that's what I would like. And it's been such a big franchise. I mean, I've seen people talking about online who are younger than us, and they're like, hey, I started watching Stranger Things when I was, the age of the character in the show. I was 11 years old. Yeah. And I grew up with the show. And this show means a lot to younger horror audiences or people who came up with it because they grew up with it in the same way like we kind of grew up with Harry Potter, but more specifically for the horror nerds. So I think doing a big send-off would be appropriate at Horror Nights. I think it would really connect with the crowd. How do you feel? Do you like door number 1 or door number 2?
I think I like door number 2 because remember when Stranger Things 4 that came?
Yeah.
Couple years back, and we were all waiting for that Eddie Munson scene to happen.
Top of the trailer, and
then it didn't happen, and we had the biggest disappointment because
they didn't have the 2 best scenes. This is season 4 spoilers. I'll try to keep the spoilers light, but the 2 best scenes in Stranger Things ever are both in season 4. There's the scene where Max is floating in the real world and she has to run back into her body while they're playing Kate Bush of all things. It's like a terrible 80s song, but they made it so cool in that scene. That's the best scene they've ever done. And the second best scene they've ever done is Eddie and Dustin on top of the trailer, and they were both missing in the Stranger Things 4 maze. So just bring those 2 things as a Stranger Things 4 segment. I think would be the right way to close it out.
And then you also, have the tantamount moment where Eddie goes, "Chrissy, wake up! They had that last year. Yeah, but they had that, which is iconic. Just every now. But like the fact that they didn't have him playing on the trailer, I was like, the
people
biggest
were mad about
letdown.
That. People were like, I came here just to see that. And they're like, well, I'm going to go to Orlando, but Orlando didn't do it either.
Yeah,
I assume it was a rights issue with the music, but honestly, just have Slash write them an original metal song, and it doesn't look. It would be better for his Master of Puppets, but it just anything would be fine it's for Horror Nights.
I mean, like, why wouldn't Metallica let them use the song?
Metallica's picky about copyright and stuff. I don't know.
I will write to
neither
them.
here nor there.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on.
It's a lock. Look, Stranger Things is a lock this year. We said that last time. Last time we said, look, there's one thing that we're sure is coming. It's Stranger Things 5. I've only grown more sure. There's people online who are hating on the new season, but I think overall it's been pretty well received. And again, just the legacy of the show is... It's funny to talk about legacy for a show that just ended. It's barely in the ground.
It's still warm. What do you mean in the ground? It's still warm.
It's still warm. It ended yesterday. But it's clear that this show had a real impact with a whole generation, and it's going to leave a legacy behind it. So, I mean, maybe, I don't know, in 10 years they'll have a Stranger Things, the reunion movie on Netflix. But
Billy Bobby Brown.
This is, what else is she going to do? Be married to Bon Jovi's kid, I guess. But it's clear that this is going to be the last time for a good while. I think we're going to see it. So it's important, I think, to send it out right.
C'est la vie.
Okay. Next up is in the... What do we call this?
It's next to Transformers.
It's the Transformers queue. That's right. It's the Transformers. It's the queue that you queue up to the right of the Transformers entrance. Last year was Scarecrow's music by Slash. This year there is no clue. There's no clue here yet. It's blank. So in our previous speculation, we had guessed an original maze. I said something with zombies. What did you say?
I said I hope it's zombies.
I don't think you had anything.
No, probably not. But I always pray for zombies because I love zombies.
You said Stranger Things would go here because I think you didn't understand what.
No. I never chose locations.
You didn't choose locations. That's right.
I always chose themes.
You just chose themes.
Yes.
So yeah, I think probably it will be an original again because we've gone through so many IPs, and we're going to talk about one more in a second. Mm-hmm. It's a very IP. It's a stack. If this shapes out, it's a really stacked lineup so far with IP. You got Hellraiser, first appearance. Mm-hmm. Sinners, very popular with the film crowd, and we're in LA, so that's where the film crowd lives. It, huge, requested for a decade. People really want to see it. Halloween, it's Michael Myers. He's old, reliable, but people pack the house. You got some original Horror Nights IP with Hollywood Harry and Jack the Clown. You got Stranger Things, the biggest horror show on earth right now. So I think I think it's enough IP. I think you gotta squeeze an original in somewhere. Right now we got an original Aladdin maze. Hollywood Harry is he's original to Horror Nights.
Yes, he is.
So it feels like one more original. And again, nowhere on our lineup so far is a real zombie. So I think it makes sense to put a zombie in. You gotta have zombies at Horror Nights. Or was it really Horror Nights if there's no zombies?
Remember Zombie Gorilla? That was a great zombie.
Yeah, I remember how that was by far the best maze that year because we don't talk about that year.
We don't talk about 2024.
What we are going to talk about is one more maze. So this is at an expansion pad out past the Mummy. So even further out from where Jason would be, you go even further right, kind of going more towards the back lot. Put an expansion pad out there, an experience pad. And they have been talking about cannibalizing parts of the back lot to expand the theme park. It looks like that's really going to get moving sooner rather than later. So this might be a first step towards that. Or maybe it's just they found some extra space. They're going to squeeze something in. This is a padlock. It's like an escape room lock where instead of numbers there are different symbols. So it's because it's Christmas. The symbols are an ornament, a tree, and another ornament. Mm-hmm. This is, I'll give you a hint, this is a specific, I didn't know this, but I found it online, people are talking about it. It's a specific padlock. It matches a padlock in something else. Do you want to guess what it is?
Padlock. And it's zombies.
It's not necessarily zombies.
Well,
but in this case, yes, it is. That's a hint. It is a zombies. So what has padlocks and zombies?
Walking Dead?
No.
Okay.
The padlock is an almost identical match for padlocks you have to open in Resident Evil 2.
Oh, the video game.
The video game. So this is another property that it's kind of like it, where it's been requested, probably even before it. It's probably 2 decades. People have been wanting Resident Evil to come.
But this is going to be Resident Evil the game, not Resident Evil the show.
Not the movie, which
the movie.
Very good.
I grew up with the movies. I didn't grow up with the games because I wasn't allowed to play them.
Okay, why did they let you watch the movies? They're terrible.
Because they older siblings took me.
I enjoyed them, but they are bad.
Oh my god! After like 2 I liked 1. 2 was okay. 3 started getting out there.
2 I thought was my favorite because it had the most stuff from the game.
Yeah,
and then it just got weird.
No, it got hella weird. I was like, why does she have magic powers? Why? What?
But Resident Evil coming to Horror Nights. I mean, this is also one I'm a little skeptical of because it seemed to come out of nowhere. Resident Evil is at Universal Studios Japan for their Horror Nights, so it's not impossible to think that Capcom owns Resident Evil, would license it out for the American side as well. It's probably the biggest horror franchise in video games. Do you think that's fair to say?
It's either that or The Last of Us. No, it's bigger than The Last of Us. It's bigger than
The Last of Us is 2 games.
Yeah.
They haven't made a new game in so long. Resident Evil pumps them out. I mean, they're doing remakes now, but they do a remake, but the whole game is remade from the ground up because the ones from the 90s are very clunky and kind of hard to play, so they remake it in a very modern style now.
I mean,
they're also putting out new ones. It's a big franchise. And like you said, there's the movies. There's been a few TV shows that are also terrible. Only the games really have been good. But
okay,
it has a big fan base. I mean, it has not only zombies, but it has these heroic characters as well that are iconic within the video game community. Jill Valentine, Leon Kennedy, Chris Redfield, Claire Redfield. And I think it would be really fun to see them in the maze, kind of like when you went through the Last of Us maze and you saw Joel and Ellie, like, come on, we're going this way. It was very like a Universal ride experience. When you're on Transformers, you're like, only you can save the Allspark, come on. That same experience you see with them, like, hey, we gotta get out of the city, go this way. But that kind of stuff, I enjoy it. I mean, you're at Universal Park.
You know what that sounds like also? What? It sounds like the Familia in the tour.
And there's a ton of... It's not just generic zombies, there are. And some of the zombies in Resident Evil, like the generic zombies, are iconic zombie designs in and of themselves that would be fun to see recreated. There's, these liquor zombies, there's the Nemesis, there's Mr. X, there's all kinds of, boutique zombies, so you would have a really fun variety of scare actors coming out at you. So I think if they can get it, it's a home run. I mean, it's an easy home run if they got it. I'm a little skeptical of this one. I guess it's one that I'm hoping comes true. I'd say this one I'm a little skeptical of. I'm skeptical of. Sinners I'm skeptical of. But I think I'm hoping if I had to pick one of those 3 to get through, I would pick Resident Evil. I think that would make the best maze of those 3.
I don't know how they could potentially do the Nemesis zombie considering he's so big and clunky.
Well, it would be the same way they did like the power armor in Fallout. It would be a big puppet.
I guess, but I wasn't scared of the puppets, if that makes sense. Like, I could see that there were puppets.
Well, it wasn't a puppet with a rocket launcher.
Fair.
What do you think? Would you be excited for Resident Evil?
I'm gonna go against myself and say no.
No, but you love zombies.
I love zombies, but Resident Evil has iconic zombies that I feel would not translate well.
Okay.
Into this medium.
I feel like if they have Resident Evil and we go in it, you're gonna really like it.
We'll see. Remember when Stranger Things, when it was the what's the monster before Vecna again?
Demogorgon?
The Demogorgon. Remember it was the day of the Demogorgon? Everything was Demogorgon. And at some point we just got bored.
I remember the day of the Vecna, and it was too much Vecna.
Oh, that's right. It was a lot of Vecna.
It was a lot of Vecna.
It was a lot of
first episode.
Yeah. It was a lot of Vecna. I feel like this would be a lot of Nemesis monster.
I don't think so. I think it would be a lot of different zombies and then Nemesis or Mr. X or both at the end as the stinger.
Let's hope for the best.
All right. We'll talk about if it comes. If it comes, we'll make a bet based on whether or not you enjoy it. Because I'm very confident you would like it based on what I've seen from you before at Horror Nights.
Yeah, because I mean, I love zombies. Zombies are good.
The loser will buy the drinks at the Slash Bar.
Yeah, we'll see. I really like the aesthetic of Umbrella though. I really like their sigil. So
yeah, that's true.
Let's go.
And good merch. They could sell great merch.
Oh hell! Can you imagine umbrellas with the umbrella logo?
And you would have to have, because in the game they have herb. They have like green herb, blue herb, and red herb that restore your health. So they would have to have like an herb some kind of weird herbs that you could eat. It
Yeah.
wouldn't really be herb. It would be some kind of candy, but it would look like.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they did with The Last of Us. With what was it, the cockroaches? No, what was it?
That was Fallout.
Fallout. Sorry, yeah, Fallout. What was it? What was it? The animals that we were quote unquote eating that restored
All
your
those
health.
nuclear animals. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah.
All right. Well, that is the speculated lineup. Minus one unknown maze and a few unknown scare zones. What do you think? Looking to take this into totality. Assume everything is correct.
Assuming everything is correct, which has worked marvelously for us in the past.
Usually these maps are better than our blind guesses. You have to
This
give them
is
some
true.
credit. Yeah.
I am really giving it between a 1, meaning this sucks, to a 10, meaning I am there right now. I am
Yeah.
right outside the gates.
And for reference, where would you rate last year on a 1 to 10?
Shoot, I think last year was really good.
Yeah.
I think it was like a 9 because there are
I
things
would
that
give it a
could
9
be.
too.
There were things that could have been
Monstrous
improved.
If you had
Yes.
if you had something better than Monstrosity, it would have been a 10.
Yeah, but then just the amount of people, I was like,
Well, I'm talking just in terms of the lineup, right?
Oh yeah. No, it was a 9. It was for sure a 9.
Yeah,
It was
okay.
just,
So look at this lineup, and where are you putting it on the scale?
I think I'm on like a 7, 8. Like I'm excited, but I'm like hesitant. I don't want
I
to
would
be
say
hurt.
Probably an 8. I think, and we talked about this last year, that it's going to be really hard to follow up last year because last year was so good. They brought so many IPs that were really wanted for the first time,
Yeah.
and they executed everything so well. I mean, the only stinker that I can think of off the top of my head was Monstrous 3.
Yeah. No, but
And the Terror Tram, but even the Terror Tram, which we didn't like the setup for it, it wasn't
awful.
it was still a fun experience. We
Yeah.
were surprised, and the Wyatt 6 was also a little weak.
Yeah.
But what they had was so strong. I think this one is probably as good of a follow-up as you could ask for. I think getting it for the first time is a coup. If they did, this is why I'm skeptical of it, because it's been so long in the ether of wanting it to come.
Yeah.
It might be so. If it's it, the difference between the 8 or the 9 would be: is this the It movie or is it the It show? Because if it's the It show, it's an 8. If it's the It movie, I think it goes back up to a 9, because that's a huge one to get. I'd be really excited for Pinhead, right? I'm a big Hellraiser fan. Mm-hmm. We talked a long time about Stranger Things and the last time, and that one, it doesn't feel as exciting because it's so expected. But, you would notice if it wasn't there, and I think they have it's another one where, look, are you just going to do season 5, or are you going to do our concept of the Stranger Things retrospective?
The Stranger Things,
because that would push it up as well.
The Stranger Things universe, essentially.
If you do Stranger Things universe, that would be really cool. But I think it's definitely strong. I think this is a very strong.
Yeah, but this also goes back to my original comment and the last episodes, where I said the only reason last year was a great show, was a great experience, was because 2024 sucked so hard.
And I think they noticed that the attendance was down in 24, and they said we got to pump those numbers up.
Yeah,
but then I think they might have seen, hey, look, we reinvested, we put more money in, we brought more IP. Look at the response we got.
Yeah,
our numbers were way up. So let's just keep doing that again. That's also possible.
And it's also like, isn't there a speculation that Murdy is on his way out, essentially?
Yeah. So that's true. He might be saying, hey, I want to get all the White Whales. I want to get it. I want to get Pinhead. I want to get Resident Evil. I want to get this all done before I'm out.
His wish list is being granted, essentially.
I don't think this is his last year. I think he'll announce it well before time that, hey, I've started these treatments and this is my last time doing it. I think we'll know like 2 or a year and a half in advance.
I speculate if it's gonna happen, we might hear about it in Midsummer this year.
That's true as well. He might be like, hey guys, because that's like his moment where he is the horror lord.
Yeah.
And everyone in that room knows his name.
Exactly. And know what he looks like.
And if you're going to announce it publicly and not just do like a Twitter announcement or a corporate announcement, that would be the... And you have the Orlando team on stage say, hey, I'm handing it over to my amazing partners that I've been working with the last, decades. And everyone would be cheering for him.
Yeah, because it's
possible.
It's a little sus that he brought in the Orlando for this past year.
It was. I noticed. I felt like this was the beginning of the passing of the torch. And
yeah,
they talked about how they were collaborating on Freddy's and they're collaborating on Wyatt Six to make them more aligned.
I mean, it felt like Orlando and Hollywood were becoming the same show almost.
That's what will happen. I think that's what's going to happen after he leaves. It will just be one design team.
Yeah,
and just make them as similar as possible. I'm very trepidatious about that. I think Hollywood has really benefited from having its own identity separate from what Orlando does.
Of course.
If you try to bring the original heavy concept of Orlando to Hollywood, I think it's a fail. I don't think it'll have the same impact here.
Wyatt Six is the example.
Well, that's an IP. But we have so many really good non-IP events in Southern California. Southern California is the world epicenter of this haunt community.
Yeah.
The whole concept of the theme park haunt, and really haunt in general, started at Knott's Scary Farm. It was the first one to do it. And to hear people talk, they're still the best. Queen Mary.
Yes.
Really strong original.
Haunted Harbor is what it's called, I believe.
Dark Harbor.
Dark Harbor.
Haunted Hayride.
Haunted
I
Hayride.
heard that's kind of meh, but pretty good. But there's also so many micro haunts in the area. There's more boutique experiences you could go to that's saying, hey, we're going to have only 20 people a night. It's like really LARPy and interactive.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much more you can do around Halloween. Where the Orlando, it's Halloween at
don't forget
parks or Horror Nights or Disney.
Don't forget the
which
swap
is not even
meet.
the same thing.
The swap meet.
Yeah.
The haunted swap meet.
And just NoHo on Hollywood is a pretty scary experience in and of itself.
For different reasons.
Yeah. So I don't think if you bring that mindset over, the mindset in Hollywood has to be IP, and really leverage the fact that we have so many out of work actors who are very skilled actors who are very experienced scare actors, because this is the world of the haunt, and leverage letting them do their thing instead of kind of putting them in more muted roles like they do in Orlando, because it's a less experienced community out there.
Yeah, it's not the same vibe. We have different vibes between here and there.
Yeah, and I like that it's two different events. I think it's fun, but I can see how if you're at corporate, you're like, why are we paying two different teams to do the same thing?
Especially nowadays where everything is becoming so expensive that the cost of paying these actors or design teams in general is going to be like, why are we having two design teams if they're being very similar? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, especially Murdy would be the biggest, like...
You're paying the guy live in Ireland.
Exactly.
Well, this has been an interesting tangent that we went on. I'm sure we'll revisit it sometime. Hopefully not too soon, but I feel like it's going to come up in a more real way before too long. Yeah. But that is our speculation. So I think my final thought, again, is just... This is as good of a follow-up to a Grand Slam last year as you realistically could get. Mm-hmm. To the point where I think... I'll be surprised if every one of these hits. I think at least one will drop off, but I would be surprised if more than 3 turn out to be wrong.
Let's go Hellraiser. That's all I care about right now.
Hellraiser, and I'm excited for another Stranger Things. Partially because I just watched it, and it's still very fresh. And like I said, the more I think about the finale, the more I think it was good, because it's really sticking with me, and I'm still chewing on it, which I think a good finale should do that.
Yeah.
It should linger for a little bit. It's kind of that, and the whole show is about nostalgia, so it kind of has that bittersweetness of moving forward in life, but you always remember what there was. So it's one last chance. It's one last taste of that Stranger Things universe.
Last hurrah, in a way. All right,
but now what I teased everyone with at the start. Do you remember what I teased everyone with? It was such a good tease.
Yes, it's about our resolution.
It's resolution time. So Undead Ed and Aleven, we've come together. We put down a few resolutions. Some of them are personal to things that we want to do related to, all this horror stuff we talk about in the next year. Other of them are for these events and for Universal Studios that we go to. It's a resolution, not our resolution, a resolution we think they should adopt.
Yes, Murdy specifically. I was kidding.
I think, how many do you have? You have 4. I have 4. I have one little writer. Let's get rid of that one. All right, so we got 4 and 4. Do you want to go first?
All right. Okay. My first real resolution, which is not... If you know me, you know I don't like this, is to ride the Fast and the Furious coaster at least once and then never again.
And why is that?
I am not a fan of coasters because since I am so freaking tall, every beam looks like it's inches from your head, and that's not a fun experience. You're supposed to think, oh, this is fun because I'm the drop in the feeling in your stomach. Not that beam looks like it's gonna hit me. I could actually die.
For those of you who don't know us, because this is an audio medium, Aleven is very tall.
Yes.
I am 6'2" when I stand up straight. And we went to Midsummer Scream 2 years ago as Freddy and Jason. And Aleven was Jason, I was Freddy. And I looked like Freddy size next to him in terms of height.
Yes.
Yeah. He's a very tall man.
It was this is also why I don't like Six Flags. Everything looks like it's gonna hit you in the head, and I'm just like,
do you try to duck?
I do.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen me, and even when we go on Jurassic World, when we take the photos, you'll see my face is always ducking down because I'm always kind of like, oh crap, that beam looks like it might just hit me.
I was too busy cackling at how wet everyone was getting last time we were on Jurassic World.
You were. Oh, there's a word.
Fantastic.
There's a word I, as 11, want to use that I am not allowed to use because I am only 11.
All I'm gonna say is, if you can convince your friends who hate getting wet that the ponchos will protect them, and then take them on Jurassic World, the ponchos do nothing. They do nothing. It's hilarious. It's the most fun you'll have at Halloween Horror Nights, hands down.
I thought my psychic powers were gonna protect me. They
did nothing. You all got soaked.
Especially me.
I got wet too, but I didn't care. I was just laughing.
I was at the edge. And I got soaked.
You got really wet.
The worst part is this was at night, and it was cold.
That was the best part.
It was at night, and it was cold.
Yeah, it was cold.
There was about to be a murder that night. It was about to be a murder.
My first resolution is also for it's about the coaster, but it's not a personal. This is for Studios Hollywood. And it is they got to nail the coaster. They've been constructing it for years. It's their first real coaster. They have the little Buckbeak coaster, but that's a tiny little baby coaster. This got to be a real coaster. It's got to go fast. It's got to give you that whoosh feeling. You got to feel your stomach drop out, 10 feet behind you when you go down a drop. They got a really cool system where the ride vehicles turn. It's kind of like a wild mouse coaster, if you know what that is. So it'll kind of simulate a drift when you go around curves.
That's a hilarious part.
But it's really cool that it's incorporating the hillside. You're going like over and then under the escalators. It looks cool. They got to nail it. It's got to be a great rollout. It's got to get people excited. It feels like they're trying to really step up Hollywood's game with this coast. And they've been working on this for a while, but it feels like this is really the first step to them saying, we're competing and we're kind of winning in Orlando. And it's time that we take on Disney on the West Coast as well, even if it means, cannibalizing the Waterworld stage, even if it means losing a few sound stages to expand the theme park. We want to be a premier West Coast theme park, not a half-day park. And if this is your opening salvo, it's got to hit. So do what you got to do, make sure it works. And I'm pretty sure this is, but let's have it open for FanFest.
No. I think I am so ready to see all those cell phone nets because you just know those things are gonna
use the lockers.
They're gonna be flying because someone's gonna be no. I know myself. My phone won't fly out. The phone will fly out. I will catch the wallets, let the phones crash.
You can just go with a giant net and stand under it and try to catch people's wallets.
Like a butterfly net? That'll be funny. But yeah.
Let's roll on to your next resolution.
I want to take a selfie with at least one spooky character. In this case, assuming everything is true, it would be Bill Skarsgård's It. I think that's my goal for this year. Is it
specifically for Horror Nights, or is it for any event?
I think any event at this point.
Because we'll see, they'll have Universal Monsters at Scooby-Doo at FanFest.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of spooky characters at Midsummer Scream, and then, of course, Horror Nights is all spooky characters.
Yeah, but remember those lines we saw when people were trying to take the photo ops?
No,
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, this is gonna be like a.
But if you're just saying to snap a selfie.
No, this is gonna be a selfie like in the wild. Like I will like.
You want one in the wild.
Yeah, I don't want like a photo op kind of deal.
I think Midsummer Scream's your best bet to get a spooky character selfie.
This is.
Will you accept a cosplayer instead of an official licensed character?
It depends on the cosplay.
It's gotta be good.
I will hunt them down. Once they think they're past the side where the guests are, and they're like, oh, finally I can relax. That's when I will appear. That's what from the shadows.
They're like waiting in front of like the back to stage. They're clocking out, and you're there with the phone. It's like, can I get a quick selfie?
You're like, how the hell did you get me?
You have to say yes, or you can't get past me. I'm very tall.
Yes, no. It's gonna be the situation of, how did you get past here? There's a lot of security. I have my ways.
You're in the backstage.
Yes. Yeah. You were born in the dark. You were raised in the darkness. I was born in it. Anyways, yeah.
Well, I feel that's a
fun one.
That's a realistic goal for you. I feel like I'm gonna hold you to this one. I have my own personal goal. It's to really crush my Midsummer Scream cosplay game this year. Ooh. I think our first year we went, it was pretty basic for both of us. I think it was just off the shelf. I bought a Freddy sweater at a Halloween store and a Freddy glove and a Freddy hat, and that's what I wore. Super fun. Pretty solid costume. Great. I thought it was a great first time. This year, last year now, I did step it up a decent bit. I was Ash from Army of
Evil
Darkness.
Dead.
And
oh yeah.
I got a blue shirt. I ripped it in all the right ways. I got some blood splatter. And I spent 2 months constructing a chainsaw hand out of a Tide Pod. I don't know what it's called.
Container.
A Tide Pod container and a little balsa wood saw blade. It was really fun. And I thought the cosplay was a great success, and I want to now take it to the next level, to where I'm at a point where I could enter their cosplay competition and be a real contestant.
Question: this past time we went there with the ripped shirt and everything, you had a complaint. Cold. Yes,
this time's going to be extra layers.
I was going to say, is your next costume going to be a layered costume?
It's going to be a layers, and I'm going to have an alternate actually for the next day. That is the same mask, but just a suit, and it'll still work. You'll see. I'm not going to reveal it. I'm not because we'll talk about our Midsummer Scream episode.
I was going to say
you have nothing to fear,
but fear itself.
Fear itself.
Oh,
thanks for stealing my thunder.
I'll sorry.
I'll tell you offline.
You can't do that to a child.
When are you a child?
I'm 11.
What about you? Last year you were Rick, and it was actually very successful. You were very popular.
I was very popular. How about this year? I step it up by becoming even more engrossed in my costume. I should start thinking of a theme now.
Are you gonna try to coordinate with me, or are you just doing your own thing again?
It depends. We'll have to talk about what exactly specific character you're doing.
We have to nail down. Well, I know what I'm doing. I've already started.
Yeah.
But this is going to be... Last year, I put a lot of work into Marty McFly for FanFest.
Yeah, that was really very good.
And that's what kind of spawned the idea that I'm going to do another level, because the Marty mode was so fun to put together. And this year, I think we're just going to probably do Scooby-Doo. It'll be very simple for FanFest. So starting next week, I'm already starting to collect materials and starting to put stuff together.
Who are you trying to be? Level. Who are you trying to be in the Scooby Gang?
Well, it's interesting. Because if we go by build, you suit Fred more.
Fred.
But if we go by height, Shaggy's the tallest one, and you are the
That is
tallest
true.
one of the group.
That
So
is
we have to
true.
figure it out.
But Shaggy is also
friend,
the.
Vincent will be wearing Scooby-Doo onesie with a little hood for the face, so he can be Scooby-Doo. That one's set in stone.
All right. The
Hi,
yeah.
Vinny, if you're listening.
Shout out.
Shout out to Vincent.
Yes. Yes. Speaking with builds, yes. I am the most likely like with Fred, but with but also with build, you would also make sense with a Shaggy, just a shorter Shaggy.
Yeah, and I'm lankier than you.
Yeah. So it's like,
And I love a Scooby stack. You know, Scooby stacks hate to see me coming.
and I like to drive.
You got a big van. When are you gonna take that to shop and make your car look like the Mystery Machine?
Oh my god. No.
All right.
Moving on.
I'm kind of mad FanFest hasn't announced because we need to settle what's going to be coming out so we know what we're going to dress like.
Yeah, I need to make sure I can coordinate on time to purchase the materials.
Exactly. But let's move on. That's a little tease for future episodes. Again, come back, and I think it's in August this year. It's Midsummer Scream, so we'll talk about it then. We'll put pictures all over our social media. Maybe this is the year we use social media for the first time.
Oh,
We actually do it consistently? No, that's too optimistic. That's not going to happen. What's your next resolution?
Oh, let's see. This was just a goofy thing. It was just
This is. I'm embarrassed for you.
find out if the ghouls we searched for were really the friends we made along the way.
The ones I wrote for you are funnier.
Yes, you did. Which one did you write for me?
I wrote 3. My resolutions for Aleven are to escape the Upside Down.
Which I
Very
did.
important for all Hawkins Labs escapees.
Done.
Make out with Mike Wheeler, which I see you've already done. You've crossed it off. Good job.
Yes.
And
He wasn't the only one, but you know.
Oh, little Lucas action for you. And eat Egos every day, which I understand is in progress.
Yes, it's in progress, but I'm also talking to a dietitian about how likely this, and they got mad at me.
Oh.
Which makes me want to do it even more.
I've always used psychic powers to make them shut up.
There we go.
What else are psychic powers for? I have a real resolution. This one is for... let's do the FanFest one. We were talking about FanFest.
All right.
My resolution for FanFest is to add a 4th walk-through or walk-around experience. So last year they had 3. They had Back to the Future, which I would call it a walk-around experience. And they had the Dungeons & Dragons walkthrough and the Star Trek walkthrough. I think... And look, FanFest was a hit. It wasn't as crowded as Horror Nights, but it was crowded. And they got a lot of hype online. It went viral, if you can still say that. And
it rained.
There's no question. And they brought it, and they announced it was coming back like that. I mean, definitely exceeded expectations, I think. So, and we've seen at Horror Nights, when you invest in the event, people come out in droves. So I'm not expecting them to bring it to the level of 9 things like at Horror Nights, because each thing at FanFest is more involved. But I do think a 4th experience, like not just a photo op or a meet and greet, like a real experience, I think that would really add to the event. It needed one more, at least one more,
To just seal it in, essentially.
Yeah.
To cinch it.
And really, I think 5 would be equilibrium for them long term, but as it's still young, I think the 4th, and it could be, it might not be something, it might be anime, it might be something I'm not interested in, but just to disperse the crowds a little bit, and it just make it feel more complete, especially since so much of the park closes early, that once it became, 11 o'clock, and it's nights, everyone's still 2 a.m., but after like 11, you got 3 more hours of event. If you've already done the 3 walkthroughs, there's not much open. There wasn't much to do.
No.
So just adding one more, I think, goes a really long way.
I think we left after we were
left
done.
pretty early.
Yeah, we were like,
I had a big drive.
Yeah, you guys.
This
were
year I'll be
driving
at a
far.
local hotel, so I think I'll want to stay longer.
So we're gonna be crashing at Undead Ed's hotel tonight. That night.
Yep. if you're paying for half the room.
And I guess we'll drive. We'll see. You would charge a child? Wow.
Yeah, that's how I be.
No, all right. So
Yeah, I mean, again, it doesn't really matter what. Again, we'll talk about FanFest. We have more to know about it. The speculation isn't quite as fervent over at that world. But I think, yeah, get at least one more this year.
Solid. That's a solid. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think for mine is with Horror Nights, make it a little tad more exclusive. In the sense that it's great that it was very popular last year and that it was fun and everything. But the lines were a little too crazy when you can't do front of the line for food.
We had success strangely with mobile order for food. Our hated mobile order came through for us last year.
Yeah, but sometimes you just want to ask them, like, hey, like, what are some recommendations between what's...
how are the sting wing?
Yeah, and sometimes some of the people be very truthful.
Yep.
So
like, oh, don't get the yum yum eggs.
Yeah. Oh God. See, we would have had. Thank God we got them at the buffet.
Yeah, I would have been kind of mad to wait.
Because if we had to pay for those,
but I wouldn't want to wait in line for them.
Yeah, if we had to pay for them and wait in line, I would have been kind of pissed. I am glad we had them at the buffet. Yeah, no, and then I guess for this time is for us to get our tickets early enough that we can get an earlier start time. 7 was a little.
I'm just gonna probably. I mean, I say this every year. Maybe this is year actually pull the trigger. Of I will just buy the tickets and you will have to all make time for the date. No, not that.
No. We have to choose a date.
Coordinate it more ahead of time, like. That's all clear a weekend in early September, and as soon as I see it, I'm just going to grab it, and you'll have to accept the time slot I get.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, this is a really niche point, but if you have tried to buy tickets for a group at Horror Nights, you know
the horrors of it.
It's easy to buy a ticket for yourself. It's not like a hard interface. It's tricky to buy for the group.
Yeah, that's the real horror.
Especially if you're trying to book the RIP tour. Which is the time slots fill up really fast.
Which is so worth it.
Every time I've tried to book it, like the time slot I selected from when I've started, it's filled up, mid process. I've had to go back and select a different time slot.
Yeah.
Every time that's happening, and it's not like I'm booking on day one. I'll be booking 2 weeks after it opened, and that's still happening. So it's a real knife fight out there for those slots.
But worth it. So worth it.
There's a balance between you want a vibrant event. Like 2 years ago when attendance was down, it diminished the event. That you could feel it was a little emptier. Mm-hmm. But you also don't want the wall-to-wall crowd, and you do want the line
wiggle room. You want reasonable. I think the best way I can explain it.
I don't want them to raise prices because I like not spending money. Maybe
right?
Raise like front of the line price, but keep RIP price the same.
I think it's like the idea of you're going to a nightclub that has a line outside, so you know it's good. Yeah. But when you go inside and you can't move,
it's not as good.
It's not as good. It's like, okay.
I will say, I think some of the premium offerings, the RIP thing, I think it's a really great value.
Oh yeah.
I think for someone who's into this event as we are, I feel like I get a lot out of that for what I pay. Mm-hmm. Compared to the cost of going to Disneyland, I feel like RIP offers a lot for. It's not cheap, but it's a good value. I don't want them to jack the price up for that a lot, but I could see them raising the price for front of the line because that did get. I mean, I was hearing stories of we got front of the line for Terrifier. You were still waiting an hour last year, which was ridiculous.
That's crazy. Thankfully, as you mentioned earlier in the episode. I went twice last year. Front of the line, Express, and RIP with us. And I actually had a great experience with Express. I didn't have to wait more than like 15 minutes at maximum. So
if I had been local to LA last year, I would have also gone back probably with just Express just to do it.
Yeah, Express was worth it.
I think I expressed that in a review. It's like this is the first year that I wanted to do 2 days.
Yeah, Express is all right. You don't have if you're conscious. Yeah, if you're conscious about that.
There's a crowd that's the right crowd for general. If you're 14 years old and you just want to do 3 mazes and mostly just hang out with your friends, that's the good crowd for general. It has purpose. But if you're listening to this podcast, you should be getting Express. If you're deep enough to be listening to a podcast about Horror Nights.
Yeah, honestly. All right.
My final resolution is also for Horror Nights, and it is to add more walk around characters. I think walk around art was a hit last year. It really popped off, on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok. We talked about it earlier, but in Orlando, they were not so great about it. There was just this crowd of influencers with ring lights surrounding the guy at all times, so it was very obnoxious. In Hollywood, we were much more well-mannered. Because look, you have walked around, but you also had like Sabrina Carpenter walking around Horror Nights last year. So it wasn't as exciting for the LA people.
My writer for your comment would be no ring lights. Sorry, continue.
Yeah. And I thought it was really fun. He was in the buffet for the RIP, so we had a little interaction with him there. We saw him walking around once or twice. It was really, we didn't see him doing anything in the crowd, but it was just cool to see him. Oh, there goes Art darting around the crowd. What's he going to get up to? We didn't know because we were on our way to the next thing. But it really added to the atmosphere of the event that you could see a character like that anywhere. You never knew where he was going to be. I think if you have an Art and a Hollywood Harry and a Pennywise, so you're going to see the character 3 times you're going to see a character 3 times as often, and you're in different parts of the park, and you never know who you're going to encounter. Or maybe you have, this is the Art Zone, kind of the upper lot by the Terror Tram where his thing is. Pennywise takes the front part where his encounter is, and Art has the lower, or Hollywood Harry is the lower lot. I think it would be really cool. I would like to see them expand this more, because it feels like this could be a replacement for the Scare Zone. As the Scare Zones have diminished year after year, this is a way to bring back that scares on the way from one house to another in a world where the crowds and the economics just don't make sense to do the Scare Zones anymore.
I feel like if they were to do that, I would want them to have, like, in the border between their 2 territories, to have an Art v Pennywise kind of like mini thing happening.
To do that, but I want them to do it in the form of a West Side Story.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I want to see that, and then they do a dance, like a dance fight.
I mean, Art basically dances, and Pennywise is known for his dance. So yes,
But they have to sing too about the sharks and the jets.
I don't know if you know this, but Art doesn't talk.
Well, he'll sing.
Okay, sure. Why not? He'll pantomime sing.
I think this is the wave of the future for Hollywood. I think in Orlando, with more space and a more dispersed crowd, the Scare Zones make sense, and with more budget. I do think we've been seeing the Scare Zones diminish for a number of reasons, Hollywood, and I think this is a way to keep the Scare Zone spirit alive. It was something I had never thought of before. I got so excited when they announced. I was like, this is such a brilliant idea. How did I not think of it? And from what I saw, I felt it really delivered on the concept. So I want to see them not only maintain it, but take it to the next level.
It's going to be a hard thing to accomplish, but I'm pretty sure they can find a way to find that middle ground.
Yeah. I mean, just collapse one of the Scare Zones. Just get rid of one of them, because they've, like we said, they get worse every year, and invest that, because instead of paying 7 or 8 scare actors and putting in props, you're investing in maybe 3 different people on a rotation to play one character. It feels like it's a lower. I don't know the economics, so I don't want to be too authoritative, but it feels like it should be a lower overhead.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you have non-talking characters like Art. Art is a non-talking character.
I wouldn't have the walk around. I mean, maybe that would be cool, like if Pennywise came up and talked to you about if you've been a good little boy or girl.
And that we all float down
ask
here.
If you're going to float. Yeah, I mean, that would be scary. That'd be fun.
I mean,
what would be cool is if they had a Pennywise and they also had a little scary Georgie walking around with a balloon.
Oh my god, that'd be great.
They had that at Horror Made Here. It was great.
You know what? One thing is that the only thing that's a downer is that since we have Nintendo World, there's still going to be a lot of kids around. So they're probably not going to, because they want to really fish in the next generation of people to come in. And
well, that's its own problem. Why don't we fish them in with a walk around Luigi with the Luigi's Mansion vacuum cleaner on his back?
A Super Mario Bros.
I just played Luigi's Mansion for Halloween. It still holds up.
1 or 2?
1.
Ooh.
They added it to the Switch thing.
Oh yeah,
the old GameCube games. Yeah,
nice.
It's fun. It's a fun game. Highly recommend.
All right, I think.
And that is going to do us. Who knew? You didn't think you were going to get a game review on this episode of Halloween Horror Nerds, but you did, and you're better for it.
Every day is a better day when you listen to us.
That's true. So listen to us every day.
On repeat.
We will be back in probably March? No, February. Probably February. Hopefully the next episode should be about FanFest. If not, I'm going to try to make Aleven here turn up to do some horror movie reviews because I like doing those, and he'll just have to indulge me. I think next episode. I mean, we're waiting for that FanFest news for our own planning. Yeah, and we'll bring you it when it comes. I think we're the only podcast who talks about FanFest.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Every other Horror Nights podcast is East Coast.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be late February, early March, where we talk about FanFest. Right before FanFest, and then the follow up will be our talks about FanFest.
Well, it doesn't start till April.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping by mid February. I'm predicting they'll announce here are the lineup, and then they'll be getting into March. It'll be here's more on what the actual experiences will be. Here's some of the food. Here's some of the merch.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it's going to be either late February, early March.
Right. But regardless, we'll be back when it's time.
Yes.
So keep your eyes tuned. And anything else any words of wisdom you want to leave the crowd with, Aleven?
Stay scared out there.
Thank you for listening to this production of the Hollywood Horror Nerds. We know you have many options for your listening entertainment, and we're glad you chose us. Find us on Instagram at Hollywood Horror Nerds, on X at HW Horror Nerds, and on YouTube at Hollywood Horror Nerds. Be sure to subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite alternative podcast site to ensure you don't miss next month's episode. And until then, stay scared out there.